Human Services Committee. This is Monday, November 13th, 2 p.m.
2 p.m.?
Yeah. Okay, it's 12 p.m. It won't last to 2 p.m., Doc. Okay, it's 12 p.m. and we're on to item number 2. We'll be looking for approval of the agenda. Comments or questions regarding the agenda? All those in favor, so want to say an aye? Opposed, nay? All right, thank you very much. Okay, we're on to number 3, public comment. You want me to wait? Okay, we're going to wait for some public to come in. Let's take a short second here. Nope, that's okay. All right, no public comment. Let's move on to committee item number 4A. It'll be the minutes for October 9th, 2017. Be looking for a motion and support. Okay, we got a motion and support. Comments or questions regarding the minutes? Any changes or anything to the minutes? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, so I'm going to say an aye. Opposed, nay. All right, thank you very much. We're on to committee item number B. This is the Lifeways Monthly Report, and we are blessed with Shannon.
Good afternoon. I'm here to just give you some highlights in the packet that you received. First off, Mary Beth wanted me to share with you, we have a potential date for a town hall meeting with Lieutenant Governor Calley on December 2nd. So we hope to have an update for that probably this week. We were waiting for them to confirm a date. We would love to have any of you there. Some other information that she wanted me to share with you is some data regarding who we served in the fiscal year 2016. Lifeways served total 9,776 individuals, 4,126 adults with mental illness, 523 elderly and disabled persons, 62 years of age or older, 1,018 persons with substance use disorder, 1,323 adults and children with developmental and intellectual disabilities, 1,225 children with serious emotional disturbances. We had 88,459 callers seeking access to health and human services via Central Michigan 211. She also wanted me to share with you our revenue streams for fiscal year 18. Our Medicaid funding is projected at $51 million. Our Healthy Michigan funding is projected at $4.7 million. Our autism funding is projected at $5.4 million. Grant funding is projected at $849,685. Our general fund is projected at $1.57 million, about 2%. Our local funding is projected at $754,000, which is about 1%. Special programs, $1.44 million, for a total revenue and funding stream of $64.4 million for the fiscal year 18. Some other information she wanted me to share with you: state policy issues at the federal level, the Affordable Care Act, the essential health benefits that are being offered through there. Medicaid expansion is still a topic at this level, and the health insurance exchange. We have the certified community behavioral health clinics that are still in the Excellence with Mental Health Act. For local issues, we are beginning planning meetings in the county. In Hillsdale County, that county has agreed to put the millage onto their ballot May of 2018 with a plan implementation for January of 19. And in Jackson County, as you know, the millage was passed, and we are continuing to work with our partners here in Jackson County to develop a plan to bring to you, hopefully in the spring.
Any questions or comments for Shannon? Anything? Well, appreciate you being here. I know there's a lot of good work going on there, so, all
Thank you.
right. Here we go. We're on to item number C. This is the Department of Aging Monthly Report. Marcy?
Good afternoon. This month's report is a summary of things and activities that we've had this summer and fall. One item that happens each summer is called Senior Project Fresh, and this is through the Michigan Aging and Adult Services Agency. They issue 100 coupon books to each county, and their older adults sign up for the coupon books, and then they can use them for fresh produce at local farmers markets. And our community outreach event is a classic car festival, and we do this in partnership with the Jackson County Fair Manager, and that was held September 20th at the fairgrounds. And we had to change the date and use the rain date because the 19th looked kind of questionable as far as rain. So we knew that by postponing it, it would probably affect attendance, and there weren't as many people there as in previous years, but it was still a good turnout, a good time to do outreach and tell people about the different services that the Department on Aging has available. And then in September, this year on the September 13th, we received funding from the Area Agency on Aging for a Senior Safe, Sound, and Secure seminar. And it's a half day of information of things to be aware of as far as security on computers and telephone calls, banking. Just again, to keep reminding people that the Social Security Administration and the IRS, they won't call you. Don't give out your Social Security number. Don't give out your birthday over the phone. Beware of emails, and don't click on links that you don't know what the link is going to take you to. Just reminders of that nature. We try to do this throughout the year, and this is the biggest event, is the Senior Safe, Sound, and Secure Seminar. And then each year, the Area Agency on Aging visits our location and checks the 16 grants that we receive from the Area Agency on Aging. These are mostly Older Americans Act, but also the state of Michigan funds quite a bit for the Meals on Wheels program. So the Area Agency on Aging makes sure we're following all the grant requirements, both program and data tracking, as well as fiscal management of the grants, and everything went well. And we received a letter that we are meeting service standards and reporting requirements. And once a year in early November, we deliver to our Meals on Wheels participants a bag of shelf-stable meals. These are like cans that with a pop top of stewed beef, fruit, some kind of starch, of milk, powder, and fruit. And this is to have on hand in the event we can't get out on the roads due to weather, so that they'll have meals on hand in case the Meals on Wheels can't get out to deliver. And then depending on the weather, we'll resupply meals so that people will have 2 meals on hand just in case the Meals on Wheels drivers can't get out. So when you see on the TV that Jackson Public Schools is closed, on that same announcement it should say Meals on Wheels not being delivered and senior center congregate sites are closed. But be assured that our Meals on Wheels participants will have a meal on hand at home to have for that day. But that's our rule of thumb, so that people throughout the county know that if Jackson Public Schools is closed, then we're not delivering meals and the senior nutrition sites are closed. Plus, we don't want our older adults out on the road going to a nutrition site when the roads aren't very good. So, and that's the summary of what's been going on lately. Any questions?
Comments or questions for Marcy?
One other thing I'd like to let you know, Spring Arbor University's social work department has had a secret shopper kind of program for their students to experience what it's like to go somewhere and ask for services. So we had a social work student come to the Department on Aging on October 13th So the professor sent us a copy of the student's note on what happened when they came into our office. And the student said that she had a grandmother that was showing signs of dementia and wanted to find out what services were available. And someone greeted her in the hall, connected her with a social worker, explained what services are available, gave her a list of phone numbers, offered to have her talk with someone else as well, and gave her the business card of the person. So it was, they had a very good experience, and she said, "Thank you for showing me such kindness and empathy. I admire the work that you do and your honest and genuine heart." So that was nice. Any?
Very good, thank
All
you.
right.
All right, thank you, Marcy. Okay, we do have an action item here. It's run item number D, MSU Extension MOE document. I don't see anybody here. What this is, if you're looking at your document there, this regards the our 2018 budget, where the county agreed to pay the MSU Extension the sum of $87,690. This is based on, as you can see there, the FTE, so on and so forth. It also gives the other information on there. It also shows what we're looking for here. And if anybody has any questions before we move on this, certainly feel free to do so, since we don't have anybody here at this moment. But this is to approve this 2018 MSU Extension Memorandum of Agreement, annual work plan, and this is something that we do with MSU Extension on an annual basis, obviously, and it does work very well. We have a very good relationship with them. I didn't think so when I was first a commissioner, but I've learned otherwise. So, anybody have any comments or questions in regards to this? Sarah?
Excuse me. I just wanted to speak to the MSU Extension significance in our county, just to reiterate it in case some of you don't know, but MSU Extension is also responsible for our 4-H in the county. 4-H has obviously a huge impact on our children, on our fair, and then just general upbringings. There's new programs that are being started on a yearly basis, and I think Daniel's actually is trying to help some of the urban planning as well, for MSU, or with the 4-H. And also, some of the other significant things they do is the Project Red that happens at the fairgrounds, usually in March or April, which is Rural Education Day, where we have all of our Jackson County third graders come to our grounds, so usually over 1,200 or so. We have Farm Fest that they help put on. They're all part of, a lot of them, some of them are part of the Conservation District. So as far as agriculture and education, this is a very minimal investment into our community, and just something that, I think is worthy of renewing every year. And this is just, the same as what it has been, but we have tons of resources and access to tons of different resources just by having extension offices here in our county. So that's it.
All right, thank you. Chairman?
Just to reiterate what Commissioner Leitner is saying, Michigan State Extension Service has reached out to the county and assisted in many areas that are not directly related to MSU Extension. They've been involved in our SISMA. They've been involved in county extension services. They've assisted us in ag areas as well as other important areas within the county, and they've been a real partner. And we do have the offices in Jackson County, which is very important. Other counties don't have them, and they made a point of keeping Jackson open because of its regional location and the good partnership that we have here. I really think it's important that we move this forward.
Very good. Good information. So, that all being said, we will be looking to send this to the full board. I will be looking for a motion and support on this. Go ahead, Doc. So I'll still be looking for support?
Support.
Okay, I have a motion and support. Any further questions? Okay, all those in favor of sending this on to the full board, signal by saying aye. Opposed, nay? All right, thank you very much. All right, we're on to number E. This is the Health Department, Health Officer Service Agreement with HFAH, and you're here.
I am here. It's a genuine pleasure to see you guys twice a day. The first item here, the Fifth Amendment to the Health Officer Services Agreement, is a standard amendment we've seen for the past 4 going on 5 years now with Henry Ford Legion's Health. They are obviously satisfied with the arrangement and want to continue it, and I don't have any problems either in terms of continuing this relationship with our local health system. I think it's been beneficial for the county and for the health system as well. So I always include the Exhibit B in this particular amendment, so you're aware of the functional responsibilities and what Allegiance Health wants me to do with them, and I continue to do that through many ways. And also included is a copy of the current fiscal analysis, if you will, that goes along with this particular amendment. So I would ask for your continued approval of this amendment and relationship.
I will be looking for motion and support on this.
So moved.
Okay, comments or questions? I noticed that you had the 49%, was 62,586 for Henry Ford Allegiance,
Right.
which means my math says we've got 65,141.15 into it, which, again, as you said, from an annual basis yearly, that's very good for both parties.
Good value.
So really appreciate the collaboration. Okay, if there isn't anything further, all those in favor, signal by saying aye. Opposed, nay? All right, thank you very much. All right, we are continuing on with F, Health Department Contracted Service Agreement, Early On Program with Jackson County ISD. This is also something we do annually, but go ahead, Richard.
It is. This is our 17-18 early on programming contract with the Intermediate School District. We've been doing this now since the early 1990s. The school district contracts with us for us to provide coordination services, evaluation, intake, and assessment services for families with children aged 0 to 3 who may be eligible under the Individuals with Disability Education Act. This is a good relationship. It connects us with the families out there in the community and also makes it possible for us to do a lot of intra-agency referrals within the health department across our multiple programs. So oftentimes we find that engaging with the families makes it clear that they might also benefit from other services that we provide. So for example, a child with some severe physical limitations and disabilities might also qualify for the Children with Special Health Care Services program, which is in an office right across the office from the staff who's doing this work. So it's a really good relationship. The finance side of this is pretty straightforward. On the second page of the staff report, we are putting local funding into this. Just want to make a reminder for you of that. The amount is $24,847 from the health department funds, and the local ISD is funding from their money $52,000 and then $144 from the federal grant. So the amount for us went up about $200. So I think it's a really good investment for us in the community, and I know the ISD really appreciates it.
Okay, let's start doing it this way. All those in favor, signal by saying aye. Okay. What are you looking at? Opposed, nay? Okay, any further questions or comments? Yeah, 1 second. From my perspective, with what we have to pay compared to the 220,000 plus, and plus the type of program it is on an annual basis, and $200 extra, you don't see that very often, so.
Yep.
Okay. We're good. Move on to the next item.
The next item that we have is the it's called 32P Early Childhood Programming, and it supports the Early On program. It's a separate grant. That's what I was wondering about.
Give me a break, guys. I'm working off the clerk's computer here. I'm working on the clerk's computer and everything here. Kofi's still got mine down there.
Okay. As I was saying, this is a much smaller grant, about $18,000. This has gone down incrementally a little bit over the past few years by about $1,000 to $2,000 per year. I actually don't know where the funds come from that the 32P Early Childhood Programming Services are funded by. I think that they may be directly from the ISD or from another federal source. Nevertheless, the Great Parents Great Start funding continues to fund our evidence-based Parents as Teachers model, and the staff at the Health Department work directly with the same Early On families, and this is a program where we have a social worker who goes into the home and helps the families by teaching them how to work with their children who may have disabilities and physical limitations under IDEA. So it's a continuation. We have adjusted the number of families that we're able to serve as a result of the decreases we've seen from year to year, but still I think it's a good relationship to have with the ISD, and it further supports the Early On families. So I'd ask for your approval of this agreement as well.
I'll need a motion and support. I believe that we can take care of this right here, since it's only $18,000. Okay, motion and support. Any further questions or comments? Just quickly, Richard, since it's $18,000 max, I guess, what can you actually do with $18,000?
Well, we probably can serve about 10 families in the community that are enrolled in the program, but at least those 10 families will receive the services that are available through this program. That's more specifically spelled out in the attachment that's attached to this item in board docs. So we support high-risk families that are enrolled in the program. And there's more of a kind of a discussion here about what the evidence-based program shows are the benefits, including a reduction of child injuries and abuse, neglect, maltreatment, and reduction of ER visits, et cetera, is described there. But basically, the four primary goals are increasing parent knowledge of early childhood development and improving parenting practices, early detection of developmental delays and health issues, prevent child abuse and neglect, and increase children's school readiness and school success.
All right, thank you. All those in favor, signal by saying aye. Opposed, nay. That's it. Now you can have your monthly report.
Thank you. I did a quick strategic planning update in our monthly report. We're pretty much finalizing the plan, and over the next rest of this month and into December, the administrative team in the Health Department will be implementing a planning process. We are repeating the HPO profile of organizational characteristics that we did 2 years ago in the Health Department, and we just kind of want to evaluate ourselves and see where we're at as a result of doing high-performance organization work and culture change in the past 2 years. We also have developed an action plan at the Health Department related to HPO as well, just as we have at the HPO CC level in the county. So we're in step with where the county is overall trying to go with the high-performance organizational work. I'll skip down to a quick discussion about the city and Health Department-led grant planning. As you may recall, the city received almost a $3 million grant to further address lead-based paint hazard and control work in the community. This is within the city now. We can't use the funds outside the city, but we also partner with the city to help them write that grant. And our piece of it will include working directly with families that have a child identified as having an elevated blood lead level. And the extra step that we're going to take because of the way that the resources are allocated in the grant is to also engage with families who may have a child who has a diagnosis of asthma. There are a lot of different triggers in a home environment that can exacerbate existing asthma in a child. Everything from molds and mildews to the presence of smoking to poorly maintained furnaces and air conditioning units. There's lots of different triggers. And one of our public health nurses will engage with those families if they're willing and do an assessment of their home using a pediatric environmental health assessment. And then we'll make recommendations to the city, and they can actually use some of those funds to help these low-income families address those issues. Our objective from the public health perspective is to help families reduce ED visits, inpatient hospitalizations, and other visits because of asthma triggers in the home. So that's what we're trying to do with that. The good news, the car seat safety program received a small grant, $299 mini grant to support the car seat safety program, but it allows us to buy 6 brand-new infant carrier car seats. And I just learned this morning that our typical order from the Office of Highway Safety Planning for free car seats that is funded through the state of Michigan also was received. We usually get between probably 30 and 50 car seats a year from that program. So we're pleased to have that happen this morning as well. The Safety Veil program was completed this year. It was cut back because of the availability of funding from the Jackson Traffic Safety Commission. We've seen continued funding decreases in that amount of funding, if you will, over the past couple of years. But still, we had very good participation from those school districts who wanted to work with us. It was on a first come, first served basis, but we didn't get any negative feedback, if you will, as a result of every school district not necessarily being able to participate in it this year. The final report for the program I attached as well, and happy to answer any questions you might have about that. October 22nd to the 28th was National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. We did a prepared media release in recognition of that. We continue to maintain a high level of focus on lead poisoning prevention. Every year we get a notice from the National Association of City and County Health Officials on the availability of fluoride equipment grants, and we have shared that information out with all the smaller type 1 municipal systems in the county. You never know if someone might be interested in adding very low levels of fluoride to their water for oral health prevention. That's what that kind of grant is all about. So we've done that, and I'll let you know if we hear of any interest from anybody in the community. The last item I have in my report is just a quick note on what one of our registered nurses shared with us that I characterize as an EPIC success. Now, I know that EPIC in and of itself is probably feeling a bit burdensome for us, for others as well. There's a lot of data and a lot of data points within it that have to be maintained in order to do it, but this particular one here, we were able to reduce the amount of time it took to submit documentation, medical records to the state for a child that could be enrolled in this Children's Special Health Care Program from 1 to 1.5 days to 1/2 hour. So that's how useful sometimes information technology is when it's used the right way and we have the right access. So it was a really good success story I thought I'd share with you. The last item that it's not in my written report, I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware that the Health Department did release a Hepatitis A public health alert last week, along with a Hepatitis A press release to the general public. The alert was widely distributed to department heads in the county, to community service providers, to the medical staff of Allegiance Health, and probably even a bit beyond that as we asked them to further distribute it in their networks. And what we said basically is that given the public health epidemic that we have in our community with opioid and heroin-related use and overdose deaths, if you will, we wanted to get people thinking about protecting themselves from hepatitis A. There's no guarantee or surety that we will end up with the same hepatitis A strain that is circulating in southeast Michigan, but it has been moving westward from Detroit, Macomb, Wayne County areas. Washtenaw County has had a few cases, and you know where our border is. So we are being proactive and encouraging people who work with people who are at risk, as we described them in the public health alert, to encourage them to get vaccinated against hepatitis A. That's our bottom line.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna ask. General population or anybody to get
Well,
that, or-
it's generally recommended for the entire general public population. Anyone who wants to be vaccinated and finds that their insurance coverage will pay for it, we encourage them to do it. It's just good preventive medicine.
That's not something that we've all had before already, or no?
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
And that's my report.
Okay, stay on it. I mean, I'm not saying, obviously somebody wanted to get vaccinated, or certainly the list of professions and such that you documented, that it might be a good idea. But am I correct in saying that at this point, there's been nothing in Jackson County
Correct.
reported? And again, I'm not saying that a person shouldn't, that's up to them, but,
No, we haven't had any cases so far diagnosed here in the county of this particular strain of hepatitis A virus.
Okay.
So we're not advocating for community-wide vaccination clinics.
okay. Thank you very much for your report.
Welcome.
Matt, we had very good, you had very good representation from Commissioner Leitner and Chairman Shotwell. Gave a lot of information about MSU Extension, 4-H Club, et cetera. And this all passed through onto the full board, so unless you wanted to add something, I think we did a pretty thorough job here. It's up to you.
I'm all set.
You good?
Wanted to make sure.
All right, you're all set too, to the full board. All right? All right, thank you. And now we'll go down to 5 other business, be claims. I'll be looking for a motion support to send the claims to full board. Okay, all those in favor, so I'm saying aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you very much. We're on to other minutes. I don't have my electronic device here. Kofi still is stealing it from me. I do remember looking at the whole thing. I don't think I saw anything under other minutes, and since he caught me on it before, I'll ask Daniel, is there anything? Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, so now we'll go on to the December reporting schedule, and even though I don't have it in front of me here, I did write it down. Must have known I wasn't going to have my computer. We have DHS, Medical Care Facility, Department of Aging, Health Department, and Lifeways. Public comment. Public comment. Hearing no public comment, it is 12:33. This meeting is called by the chair.